Shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahawa Kakodash, Yahweh, which is the only true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his only true name is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone, because those are the men who I learned this truth from, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. And shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am your brother Mashiach Arazakah from the servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, Camp Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And pretty much we're going to go into the Shabbat is according to the moon. To get the Shabath, right, to get the Sabbath is according to the moon. So we're going to go into that, in the basics of the scriptures. We're going to bring some scriptures out. All right, because you got jakes out there that still think that Friday sundown, Saturday sundown is the Shabbat. Now, the Sabbath, the Shabath in the Hebrew, the Shabath can be any day. It just all determines where the new moon comes in. All right, but the new moon, all right, is the Shabbat. All right, you even have a new moon Shabbat. You have two Shabbats. So before you can get a regular Shabbat, you have to get a new moon. All right. So the Shabbat is according to the moon. The Shabbat is according to the moon. And we're going to prove that. Let's start on Genesis. It's Genesis 1 and 14. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. It's Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14. It says, and Alahayim, now that word God there, when you read in Genesis, the first chapter, that word God there is Alahayim. All right. In the Hebrew, it's Alahayim. The Yam is plural, which means powers. So Yahweh Shai and the angels, they established the creation of the earth. All right. So when you go into Genesis, the first chapter, all right, that word God there is Alahayim, which the Yam, the Alahayim, the Yam is speaking plural. All right. This is Genesis 1 and 14. It says, and Alahayim said, let there be light in the firmaments. And the firmament is what? The sky. All right. You have different layers of water. All right. You have outside of the layers of earth, which they call outer space. Then you have the layers of waters of the sky, right, which is the firmament, and then you have the layers of water on the land. All right, so you have the firmament. The firmament is the sky. All right. It says, and Alahayim said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. Because in the day you have what? You have the sun, you have the clouds. At night, you have the stars and you have the moon. The moon it shows you to let you know what day you in according to the Bible. All right. Today, we're using the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is the calendar that everyone uses in America. Everyone has the Gregorian calendar. All right. And the Gregorian calendar, it goes off of the sun and not the moon. So that's where you get your pagan holidays. Off of the Gregorian calendar, you get your pagan holidays. You get your birthdays, right? You get leap years, right? February has 28 days. July has 31 days, right? You have all these different shit going on, but that calendar is fucked up. But we have to use it, for this modern day time, present time that we're in now. But to get the Sabbath, to get the true Shabbat is according to the moon. All right. Now you got people that's going to comment on here and going to say this and that and this and that. If you believe it's Friday sundown, Saturday sundown, that's you. But I'm telling you that the true way to get the Shabbat is the moon. Not Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown. Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown. That goes off of the Gregorian. There's no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's no January to December. That all goes off of the Gregorian calendar. Because the scriptures say the first month on the 10th day, the second month on the 14th day, the 10th month on the 15th day. It doesn't say January and all that. All that goes off the Gregorian calendar. There was no calendar. There was no Gregorian calendar. There was no calendar at the time of Moses. There was no calendar in the time of Adam and all that. There was no calendar then. There was none of that. So they went by the moon. And it's just to say this too, before I get to the scripture. If you're stranded on an island, how would you be able to get the Sabbath day? With no cellular device, no calendar, no nothing. How would you be able to know to get the Sabbath if you were stranded on an island? The moon. Because the moon would tell you. It has different phases, which we're going to get right now. So Salaki on that. Genesis 1 and 14. And Alahayim said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. So the daytime, you have the sun, right? You have the clouds, all right? At night, you have the stars. You have the moon, right? It says, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. So we supposed to go by the moon to know what day we in, according to the scriptures. That's how we went. But now in this society today, Esau set up his own laws, his own times, right? Going into Daniel 7:25. Esau put up his own days, his own laws, right? But according to the Bible, we used to go by the moon to get our days, to get our high holy days, etc. We went by the moon. Because that's why the scriptures say in Genesis 1:14. And Elohim said, let there be light in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. See, to divide the day from the night, right? And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. So at night, it will let you know what day you in off of the moon. It has different phases, right? Because a full moon, it lets you know what? That the month is almost over. A new moon is a new month. See, so we went by the moon to determine the days we're in. We didn't go by no calendar. We didn't have no fucking calendar. Not in the ancient days. There was no fucking calendar. The calendar, the Gregorian calendar wasn't established until I think 1528 by Pope Gregory the 13th. Look up satanic origin of the Gregorian calendar. Simple. Got another precept. This is we're gonna go to Sirach 43. This is gonna be a little quick hit, man. This is Sirach 43. And we're going to start at verse 6, verse 5. This is Sirach 43 and verse 5. It says, great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment is runneth hastily. Verse 6, he made the moon, right? Because that word, the new moon is the beginning of months. The word month means moon. That word moon, right? That word month means moon. So when you look in the scriptures and it says new moon, that means new month. All right? So it says, verse 6, he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times. See, the moon has different phases. You get a crescent moon, you'll get a waxed moon, right? You'll get a full moon, and you'll get a new moon, which is a full, the new moon, you cannot see the moon. The whole moon is totally covered. All right. It says, he made the moon to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. Verse 7, from the moon is the sign of feast, right? It says from the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection, right? Because the moon has different phases. It'll go to a full moon and it'll go to a new moon. The full moon is not a new moon. You know, you got Jakes that's teaching that doctrine where you see a full moon in the sky, a full moon being, seen in the sky, a full moon, and they say that's the new moon. That's not the new moon. The new moon is a full shaded moon that you can't see the new moon. All right, you can't see the new moon at all. The moon is totally shaded black. You can't see the moon. All right. So you gotta know the difference between a full moon and a new moon. The full moon is a moon that you can see. All right, which means that the month is almost over. If you see a full moon in the sky, it's letting you know that the month is almost over. All right. The full new moon is a full shaded moon and you can't see it. All right. For example, it'll look like how my bracket look on my native brace. You see that? On my choke holder. See that? See how this is black? That's how the moon look. You can't see the moon. It's fully shaded. You wouldn't be able to see the moon. All right. Just had to give an example for you guys out there. Verse 7, it says, from the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. Verse 8, the month, right, is called after her name. Because the new moon is the beginning of months. The word month means moon. So to get a new month, you have to get a new moon. All right? Because the word month means moon. So you have to get a new moon to get the Sabbath day. And the new moon is a Shabbat. All right? The new moon, you're supposed to blow a shofar on it, which goes, I believe, to Psalms 81:3, which I'll get out in a little bit. Psalms 81:3. You're supposed to blow a shofar on the new moon, and you're supposed to have a feast day on that. The new moon is a Shabbat. It's similar to a regular Shabbat, but you blow a shofar and you have a feast day on it. All right? And you're supposed to rest on the new moon as well, because the new moon is a Shabbat. So you have two Shabbats. You have a new moon and you have the regular Shabbat. All right? But you got jakes that don't know that. They just thinking this you just Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown every single week, Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown. I'm not saying that the Shabbat can't, the new moon can't land on a Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown, because it has. But it's not gonna always be Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown. It's gonna be any time. It just depends where the new moon lands. The new moon can land on a Sunday. It can land on Sunday, and it can be Sunday sundown to Monday sundown. It can be from Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown, Tuesday sundown to Wednesday sundown, and etc. The Sabbath can be any day. It just depends where the new moon lands. All right. And it says, verse 7, from the moon is the sign of the feast, a light that decreases into perfection, because the moon has different phases. All right. When the moon gets completely shaded, the whole moon is covered. That's a new moon. That's a new month, according to the Bible. Verse 8, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing. See, because it has different phases. The moon has different phases. All right. It says, being an instrument in the armies above, being an instrument in the armies above, being a sign in the sky at night. That's why we see the moon, right? It says, shining in the firmament of heaven, right? Because you see the moon, you'll see a crescent moon. A crescent moon is very, very, very thin. It looks like a little toenail. All right. Then you have a waxed moon, right? A half a moon. The moon has different phases. It lets you know what day you in, according to the scriptures. All right. So let me get out that. There's more precepts, but I can get. But let's make this a quick hit. It's simple, man. This is Psalms. This is Psalms 81 and 3. There's more precepts I can get, but we'll stop right there. This is Psalms 81. This is Psalms 81. Psalms 81 and 3. Psalms 81 and 3. It says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon. See? So you're supposed to blow a shofar on the new moon, because the new moon is a Shabbat. That's the new month. All right? It says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon. Right? The new month, which is a Shabbat. The new moon is a Shabbat. It says, in the appointed time, it says, in the time appointed on our solemn feast. So you're supposed to blow a shofar on the new moon, which is a Shabbat. So you get the new, this is how it goes. It goes new moon, which is the Shabbat, which is a Shabbat as well, a new moon Shabbat. You have a shofar, you blow a shofar, you have a feast on it. Then you count 6 working days. So it's new moon, then you got the next day. So say for the next day, say the new moon comes in Wednesday, sundown. All right, that's the Shabbat all the way until Thursday sundown. Then you have the regular. Then after that, 6 working days. So it'll be Thursday, it'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? And then Wednesday evening again, because that'll be 6 working days. That evening of Wednesday will be the Shabbat. So if the new moon comes in Wednesday sundown to Thursday sundown, that's going to be the Shabbat cycle for that month. Wednesday sundown to Thursday sundown, Wednesday sundown to Thursday sundown, until the next new moon come in. Now, just because the next new moon is getting ready to come, that doesn't mean that you still got to celebrate the Sabbath previous time. So you still got to do that. You still got to do that previous month, right, of the Shabbat. So you may have, it may be Thursday sundown to Friday sundown, right? But you still got to keep the previous Sabbath cycle. So it'll be Wednesday sundown to Thursday sundown. Boom, that's the Shabbat. And then that evening of Thursday will be the new moon Shabbat. So sometimes you'll have 2 Shabbats in the same week. It just all determines when the new moon come in. This is Psalms 81 and 3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon. It says, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. So again, man, that's the new moon is a Shabbat. You have the new moon Shabbat, and then you have the regular Shabbat. I got another precept. This is let me get out that Isaiah real quick, because Isaiah proves that too. All right, this is Isaiah 66 and verse 23. This is Isaiah 66 and verse 23. It says, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, see, from one new moon to another new moon. All right, so you'll have the new moon Wednesday sundown, Thursday sundown, right? Then you have that whole lunar cycle of that whole entire month. It's going to be Wednesday sundown to Thursday sundown. Then you're going to have the new moon. And the new moon could come in Thursday sundown, Friday sundown. You're going to have the new moon, work 6 working days, and then the following, that wherever that new moon landed on, that's going to be the Shabbat for the whole lunar cycle until the next new moon come in, and that's going to be the whole Shabbat for the whole month. So the Sabbath can be any day, man. So from one new moon to another, right? It says, this is Isaiah 66:23, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another, one Shabath to another Shabbath, right? Shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. All right, so from one new moon to another, from another Shabbat to another. All right, so the new moon is the Shabbat, and you have the regular Shabbat. So the Shabbat, the Sabbath, is according to the moon. That's the only way you can get the Shabbat. If you disagree with that, then that's you. But according to the Bible, the Shabbat is according to the moon. The Sabbath is according to the moon. All right, the Sabbath is according to the moon. And let's get out that Exodus 22, and then we'll wrap it up with that, because somebody will come with that Exodus 20, and they'll try to use that as Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown. But no, you're not understanding. All right, we're gonna break that down too. All right, this is Exodus 20, and we'll start at it's at verse 8. This is Exodus 20 and 8. It says, remember the Sabbath day and to keep it holy. Right, come on. Remember the Sabbath day and to keep the Sabbath day holy. It says 6 days shall thy labor and do all thy work. So 6 working days. So you'll have the new moon, which is a Shabbat, 6 days, and then the next. So let's say, for example, the Shabbat lands Sunday sundown to Monday sundown. So you got the new moon that come in Sunday sundown, right? Boom. That's the Shabbat to Monday sundown. That's the new moon Shabbat, right? Sunday sundown to Monday sundown. Once Monday sundown come, then you got 6 working days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Then Sunday, the day come. The evening of that day will be the regular Shabbat. Then you count, what is that? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Boom, evening of Sunday. That's a Shabbat. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's all the way down until the next new moon come in. So that's what it means by 6 working days. You had a new moon. Boom, that's the new moon Shabbat. Sunday sundown to Monday sundown. Boom, once Monday evening come, then you got 6 working days. So that's how it goes, right? And the Sabbath can be any day. It just depends where the new moon come in. If you disagree with that, then that's your doctrine. But according to the scriptures, the Sabbath is according to the moon. All right, there's research on that. You can Google. It's called Googling, not debating. Verse 9, it says 6 days shall thy labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day, right? The 7th day is not Saturday. Everybody say Saturday is the 7th day. The 7th day is not Saturday. All right, the 7th day is not Saturday. You're going off of the Gregorian calendar. The 7th day is off of the moon. So the new moon is the first day. All right, the new moon is already the first day. That's a new month. The new moon is a Shabbat. That's the first day. So you count wherever the new moon comes in. So you get the new moon, which is the first day. Then you count 6 days. Then you get the Sabbath day. So if the new moon is already the first day, right? And it lands on any day of the week, wherever day it is, that's going to be the Sabbath for the next week. And that's how you get the Sabbath every week. So wherever the new moon comes in, that's going to be the 7th day. Where the new moon lands. It doesn't go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown. That's the Sabbath day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, it can happen that way, but it depends if the new moon lands on that day. It just depends where the new moon comes in. That's where it depends on. Nothing else, man. All right. It says, this is Exodus 20 and 10. But the 7th day is the Shabbat of the Lord thy power. In it thou shalt do no work. So you're not supposed to be working out on the Sabbath day. You got Jake's working out on the Sabbath. You can't work out on the Sabbath day. You can't have sex with your woman on the Sabbath day. You can't do that shit. You can't do that, man. It says, nor thy son, nor thy daughters, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers within thy gates. So you're not supposed to do anything pleasurable on the Sabbath day. It's the day of rest. Shabath means rest, not Saturday. Shabbat does not mean Saturday. Shabath means rest. Sabbath means rest. It don't mean Saturday. You got Jakes that say that Sabbath means Saturday. No, it doesn't. Sabbath means rest. That's what it means. Day of rest. Verse 11. It says, for in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them is, and rested on the 7th day. So that's what Sabbath means. It means rest. It says, wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath, the day of rest, and hallowed it. So that's why we keep the Shabath. That's why the Shabath is so important. All right? It's a high holy day for you spending time with the Lord, resting. All right? We do a lot of labors. Now, don't get me wrong. Brothers got to work on the Sabbath. I even have to work on the Sabbath sometimes. Some of us can't get the Sabbath day off. All right? But this is why we have grace. This is why we have grace, man. So, wait, I'm in it there with that. There's more precepts on that, but I just want to do a quick hit on that. All right, Lord, once this is edifying, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahawa Kakodash. Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahweh Shai. All right, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. And shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word, truth, and sincerity. I'm the brother Mashiach Arazakah from the servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Till next time I say, shalom, shalom, shalom.